Yes, I want to ask, is there any difference between a ministry and a calling?
Yes, there is. First of all, when we talk about ministry, what comes to our mind, or what should come to our mind literally, ministry simply means what you do. In biblical context, like I said, the context of this program is biblical. In biblical context, another word we can use to replace ministry is deacon, or what we call deacon and deaconess. That's what we can use to, that's what ministry means. It simply means what you do. But when we talk about calling, there are biblically, is what we call general calling.
Okay.
In the sense that God is the one that has called every one of us, because God doesn't entertain idleness. He has called everyone. That's in general calling. If you look at places like Timothy chapter 2 verse 9, you see, who has called us with a holy calling. So he has called every one of us as his people. Now, furthermore, we have what we also call specific calling from God. That's where you see offices like the pastors, the prophets, the teachers, the apostles, and the evangelists. These are specific calling. But generally, we are all called. We have one thing or the other we are to do. We are called with a holy calling. But specifically, for the edification and building up of the faith of the believers, we can see and we can say expressly that from the scriptures, you see offices like the apostles. These ones that I've mentioned, you see that from the book of Ephesians. When you read Ephesians chapter 4, you will see it. So now, when we look at the word ministry and calling, I can easily put it this way. The difference is ministry is what you do. But when we talk about calling, it's more like you now getting a job. You are being called for a job and taking the job and carrying out the job. That's ministry and calling. Okay. So calling is what you are asked to do. That is within the context of specific and general. Okay. But when you bring it out general, like I said, God has called us to a holy calling, to conform to the very image of his Son and to serve him in truth and in spirit. That's what God has called every one of us, irrespective of what you are doing, what we can call ministry. So this is the end of what we call ministry. I also put it this way a bit with me. I said the major difference between ministry and calling is like being called to take a job and then taking up the job and starting to do it, to serve. Because that's ministry means what you do, means to serve. It's just service, to render service. That's what it is, to do